morning. Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God. Thanks for joining us
Hey.
on this Friday, the 6th of March. It is a Love Supreme Friday today, so stay tuned. We're going to fire it up right now. First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. Once again, thank you for joining us. We're so happy that it's a Friday, March 6th, 2026. Fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning is happening right
In the
now.
morning.
How you doing over there, buddy?
A little tired, boss. A little tired, but yeah, always a pleasure to be here with you all, speak with you all, unload, decompress, figure some things out, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Man, I'm fighting the cold. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
man. Hey,
Yeah.
there's something going around. My homie at the studio was just talking about a flu. Like, yeah, man, there's something different going around, man. I'm telling y'all, as you see, I've been kind of dealing with a cough. My man Paul B find some things.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely fighting the cold. I think that's what's been wrong with me and my sleep pattern this past few days. So yeah, so I'm feeling the brunt of it now, but still fighting it off. So I'm not completely down yet. But hey, we're gonna keep on rolling just like we do. For those of you that are just joining us and kind of saw the beginning here, we didn't put this up. I'm surprised we didn't do it, but yes, we have special guest Marcey Yates from the Culxr House coming on through today. He has a Vanilla Sky 2 is his newest release, and he's going to be talking about his newest release and actually a party tonight. This is Haps Friday as well, so we'll talk about what's going on later on this evening and jump in. Man, can't wait to talk to Brother Yates about some Love Supreme around here for once.
Yeah, just catching up with him. It's been a little while, been too long.
That's
See
right.
what the brother got going on.
We got to do it. It is the season 4B, which is Follow the Money. So we will have many of a discussion of some of the things that are going on right now with the money situations. I'm glad that we have continued this conversation over the course of this season, and kind of dove into some some things that I didn't really expect to get to when it came to that part. We can talk about following the money when it comes to what our elected officials are doing with the money, how the economy is going, our own personal finances is part of that, but man, it's really interesting to kind of dip into what's going on with AI and the situation these situations that are happening with AI, the economy. Didn't expect for the job situation to be as bad as it is right now. Definitely a conversation that has to continue to happen every year. So we're glad that you guys are here joining us and offering your expertise as we go along. We'll keep on talking about it. Pops gives us a good Friday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops.
Hey, man, what's the weather like in Vegas? How's it looking?
Leia Keister's in the chat. Definitely your turn this time, buddy.
My turn. Okay. Bear with me.
Me.
Happy. Yeah. me. Let me clear it out. Happy Friday. Yippee yo. Yip yippee yo. Yay yo. Yay yip yippee yo.
Man, you said that like a rhyme. Okay, that's what's up.
Okay. Hey, hip hop parade.
Yo, hey. Friday Yippee Skippy's going down. Marlon Harrison, good morning, First Sky family, and happy TGIF to everyone. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's thanking God it's Friday because the week be long. Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. Mark Manor gives us a good morning. Vanilla Sky 2 available at Homer's. Come on. Come on with it. That's right, bro. Mark coming in. Get your record collection together. Just go on and get it together, man. It's going down. We will have Marcey Yates come on and talk about this latest release. He's been dropping all kinds of videos and stuff like that too on this release. And when I get to looking into the stuff he's doing, I mean, the brother's plugged in. So we ain't the only ones that release the news that he's got to release. It's all over the place. Like you say, go to Homer's, get your wax, get your wax.
We got to get on our game, man. I saw my man Deontay Kyle from a Grits and Eggs podcast. He gave the homie New Face of vinyl. I guess they getting printed up on vinyl. Of course, you got the Midnight Miracle. We got to get our vinyl game up, man. Mark, we're going to come holler at you soon.
Got to do it. We got to do it. So, yeah, we appreciate everybody coming on in this morning early. Do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook, share the show. Hopefully it'll be a show. We got to talk about the things that are going on, of course, but it's also Love Supreme Friday. We love to talk about some of the reasons why we fight the fight. You know,
Mm.
the life you got to live, the art that you live, the you know what's how is life worth fighting for if you don't have fun and art and love in your life. So yeah, we like to stress that too because we know that the art soldiers are the ones that are really on the front lines of these fights that are going on. Everything that we're pushing on, any kind of revolution that's
Man.
happening. Sure. Pop says weather has been gorgeous out here the last few days. That's right,
Okay.
Pops. You talking about outside or you talking about the inside climate? You talking about outside these days. That's what's up.
Mm.
So Les Butler in the chat. Good morning, says One Love family. Appreciate you getting up this morning with us. Yeah, that's what's up. Kimber Snipes gives us a good morning. Good morning.
Oh,
Michelle.
okay.
All right. We got some hands in today. Appreciate that. Kimber says, spent all Wednesday in Lincoln talking to senators. Yeah, we saw the pictures. He says if LB 11219, wait, yeah, is it
Yep. Yep. 1219.
passes that 100 million loss in the first 5 years of OPS, not including the loss from Tiosa. Man, we talk
Mm.
about this. Yeah, appreciate the report back. Yeah, we'll definitely
Man.
tap you and talk about some of these things that are going on here. We did see you up there getting busy, so we appreciate it. Speaking of weather, it's gonna be a 70 day today too. 70 degrees and 70% chance of rain. So that's what's happening
Mm.
if you're
Okay.
in Omaha, Nebraska. Get your umbrellas out, but it'll get your rain jackets out. It's gonna be warm, but it's gonna be rainy. So definitely do that. And it's supposed to be like that for the next couple of days too. So check on your loved ones. Matter of fact, there's because of the thunderstorms and everything that went on last night, there was some power outages. 1,400 people without power, according to WOWT, and
Man.
yeah, and OPPD. So there you go. If you're one of those ones, then you're probably not listening to us. But if you got family
Mm.
members in those areas, definitely check on them because it kind of happened overnight. People kind of woke up with no power in some of these areas. So you gotta watch out for that. It was not that big of a thunderstorm. It was kind of a light rain. So I don't really understand why the power would have went out, but
Mm.
don't seem to take much sometimes for OPPD to be shutting down around here in certain places.
Yeah. Hey, look out for those kinds of we are in a war. So do look out for those kinds of cyber attacks and things like that. It's possible.
Mm, definitely possible. I'll go ahead and jump into a few of the community updates this morning because it is Friday and we have a couple of them. I'm going to dive in. We'll save some for
Yes,
later,
yes.
but definitely want to dive into this one. We did not failed to tell people that there are some tickets available for film streams. This viewing of Grandma. This is happening March 24th, so we got a little time here at Ruth Sokoloff Theater. We had Amanda on recently telling us about this film, but this is playing on March 24th at the Ruth Sokoloff at 6:30, and we do have a couple tickets to give away. So if you would want a couple tickets to go check this out, then please hit us up. What you need to do is go like and subscribe at YouTube. And after you do that, send us an email at firstskyOmaha@gmail.com and let us know you want to go to this. And then we'll pick a winner out of the people that do that for us. Out of that list, we'll pick a winner. So we appreciate everybody who's will participate with this. Highly encourage you to go to film streams. Make film streams a part of your third space adventures, and understand there's some programming there that is continuing the conversation for sure. And hopefully we're getting that point across by having people from film streams on and the partnership we have with them. Very important situation.
Yeah, man.
So definitely check it out. And here's an opportunity to go for free to go check out this movie, Grandma, that is supposed to be pretty heavy movie. So definitely hit us up if you want tickets for that. Again, like and subscribe at YouTube, and then send us an email at firstskyOmaha@gmail.com. Appreciate that. Ran
For
into
sure.
Sherman Wells, brother Sherm, Big Sherm, out and about. I said,
Uh-oh.
man, I ain't seen you in a minute. He said, yeah, I've been laying low. I said, yeah, you've been laying low. He said, but I'm coming back March 24th.
Hey.
March 24th at 7 o'clock. He's going to be checking in with his people. Highly encourage you to go to his YouTube page and or the Facebook page. I think YouTube is what he's going to be really pushing on. So go to YouTube, check out Brother Sherman L. Wells on YouTube, and check out Sermon with Sherman. He's going to do a Q&A. He's going to really kind of open it up to the chat that day and talk to the folks. So March 24th at 7 p.m. This is going down. Sermon with Sherman. We'll have to bring him on the show and catch back up with him too. For real, for real. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that came by. We have to talk about this. Went down last night. I know there were some people in the chat that probably went to this, the Hungry Club. Meet the candidates, Douglas County Attorney,
Man.
Kevin Danner, Don Klein. Yeah. Shout out to Big Mama's Kitchen for posting that on their YouTube page. They went live, and then they left it up there for us to go check out. If you haven't checked it out, definitely do. You know, when you get to the end, you're gonna be like, okay, I see what's happening.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
we'll
some
definitely
calls about that one.
we'll definitely talk about it. Also, shout out to the Great Plains Black History Museum. They're still asking us to vote on the Omaha Tourism Award. You know, I have a chance to get an award for one of the best places to visit in Omaha, Nebraska, and they framed it as a David and Goliath story. So they said, they got a couple other places on this list that everybody usually votes for, but hey, how about checking out Great Plains Black History Museum and giving them a vote and seeing if they can win amongst all the giants. So definitely check that out, and we got more to come on that as well. Also, got to talk about Revive Black Business Summit that's coming up tomorrow, March 7th. Hope to see you guys there, actually, from 8:30 to 11 at the Revive Center, right there on the Deuce, 24th and Lake, right on the corner. Come on through and check this out. There's going to be some heavy hitters there. I'm seeing the list of people that are going to be speaking tomorrow, and it's going to be really interesting to be able to have some discussion here, because there's and not just discussion, but the plug, man, the hookup, the networking, this is where I figure out we really have everything, or every resource we need to do business and do everything in this city, in this town, and there's a heavy lean on black owned everything, and funds for black owned businesses and resources for black owned businesses. I mean, like, it's all here. It's all here.
We all we got, but that's enough.
Yep. So shout out to them for that. And with that, I'm going to save some of the hash for a little bit later on in the show, but we'll jump into today's thread. Before we get to that, though, what's going on in the chat over here? Let me see what's happening.
Yeah, chat's kind of going off.
Sean McCarthy giving us the first Sky team and chat chimers. Appreciate you, bro. Ariel's 402 says hit the like button or else. He said hit the like or else.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's what's up. RG gives us some more than y'all. Yep. Michelle Moreno says, I want to go. Heard that. Yeah, let's get busy with that.
Check it out.
Says, the blonde look like the woman in Ozark. I think that her character's name was Ruth. Who are you talking about?
Yeah, that's her. Talking about from Grandma, the young lady acting in the film. She's actually a pretty decent actress. I've seen her in a couple things.
Yeah, I keep on see those Ozark clips. I haven't watched Ozark yet, but I see them clips where she's acting her butt off for real.
It's a good show.
Everybody keeps telling me. I tried to watch the first couple episodes and it was rough. Couldn't get in. Also, Kimmer says Big Mama is one of those categories too. Big Mama turned into that third space for you to go have a conversation and some confrontation. Shout out to Big Mama, man. She did her best moderating that mess that happened yesterday. We'll talk about it for sure. Michelle Moreno said I was there. Yep, definitely. I appreciate that. Definitely have to talk about it. Also, Mark Manor. Let's see. What's going on here? Oh, Kimmer says I was down there testifying. I was talking to a few senators about a bill. Same way I'll pick up a phone and go call one, or at least I hope you would. Yeah, it was very, I love the pictures of you going down there. It's very inspiring to see you down there in the mix. So I appreciate the pictures that you sent back of that happening. And I highly encourage everybody who does go down there, document it for sure.
And what was the name of the group that you went down there with? Again, it was a group effort, right?
Yeah, let us know. She said you can also see them in person and pull them off the floor. That's what's up. So anyone can do that.
Let me holler at you.
Holla. Step over here. We got to holler.
Yeah.
With
pull
that,
your coattail.
Pull your coattail. Yeah. She know about all them old head phrases.
Come on, man.
Let's talk a little bit about today's thread, buddy. What's on your mind today?
Yeah, actually, we're going to dive into some of that. Definitely looking at what's going on as far as childcare in the bills, and looking at, still following the money, man. As far as the state's budget deficit, still a heavy topic of the conversation. So, and definitely check that out. But also in other news, as Paul mentioned, the storm has some power outages. So, giving some people some information on where to check on that, especially if you find yourselves or a loved one in the dark, kind of like Cuba. Yeah, gotta talk about it, man. Yeah, gotta talk about it. So again, check on your loved ones, check on your peoples. Also, definitely want to talk about the babies, and not just in the tune of the child care crisis. Shout out to Flatwater Free Press for reporting on that. But also looking at this lawsuit from the state of Nebraska against Roblox, which is something we actually got to talk about. We've been talking about AI a little bit, but again, some of the dangers of this tech and these tablets and what's going on with some things as far as the children. And I have to say, I've had some personal experiences with my kids with some of these programs and apps. So yeah, for those of you who have little ones out there, kind of a cautionary tale, as you see it on your screen. Roblox getting sued. So
sitting there with that tablet. You got the kids sitting there with the tablet on the lap with the
yeah,
Roblox. Got to talk about it.
man, it's looking crazy out there. But also sticking with the babies, things to do on the positive tip. It is the Love Supreme Friday. Do want to talk about what OPA, actually one of our partners. Shout out to the good folks over at OPA and the work that they're doing with the new Tanaska Arts Center. Am I saying it right? Tanaska.
That's what it looked like to me. Don't ask
Hey.
me how to pronounce it. I'm Billy the Butcher when it comes to that.
Man, but definitely want to, not just get the name right, but check it out. A lot of programs, a lot of good things going on with that. So definitely want to talk about that and what's going on with the youth and the arts in general. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, I have my man Marcey Yates coming on to talk about his upcoming project, Vanilla Sky 2. But also, of course, gotta get some updates on what's going on with the Culxr House. The Culxr House gets busy. Speaking of third places, speaking of spots where the community could come together, coalesce, have conversations. Culxr House gets down, man. So definitely looking forward to an update on that. Also, in other news, we will be following the money. There's some movement with the Inland Port Authority, the business park, and also again an update on what's going on with the Lexington situation. We haven't really talked about it. Of course, we talk about a lot of North Omaha and the economic development in that. But a lot of times, we kind of have some of the same issues as our rural brothers and sisters. So again, what is happening in Lexington, them being rocked by that plant closing, them also looking for jobs. Yeah, let's talk about it. So again, all that and more throughout the next couple of hours. Of course, if there's anything we're not talking about or missing the mark on, or if there's any breaking news that we might be missing at the time, because we're live. Hey, talking to you. So talk back. Let us know what's going on. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. In the meantime, between time, a little 15 minutes into this thing. What's the word?
Yeah, man. We'll take a quick break and come back and jump to the conversation. We appreciate y'all for those of you just joining us on Paul B.
Hey,
Descendant of Akinana,
okay.
representing the Allen family, Buddy the God, representing the McGaw clan.
There you go.
It's going down. Randolph and Duke Mortimer right here. It's going down. Follow the money. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. Pork bellies. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning. My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the God. Thanks for joining us. Chat Chimers, Ghost listeners, do us a favor, share the show. If you're on Facebook, share it on your page. If you're on YouTube, share the link. Anybody who you think would be a good fit for a conversation over here on some of the things that we're talking about. Again, you're listening to First Sky during their season 4B. Our season 4B is happening right now. Follow the money is the theme of this season. But as we go throughout the season, we kind of understand that all these things are connected, especially when it comes to the money in this corporation of a country that we have here. That's what's up. Yeah, I know, Pops. Yep. Appreciate you guys for joining us this morning. We're gonna go ahead and jump into the conversation. Buddy, what's first on the agenda?
Yeah, just a quick warning. I'm sure some of you, if you're experiencing this, know, but if you don't know, check on your loved ones as far as the power outage. Again, just about 1,400 homes without power due to storms last night. If you need information on that, you can reach out to OPPD on their website. Again, if you experience a power outage, you can, or you actually OPPD is requesting that people again, put in a report so they're on top of outages. Again, they do serve about 430,000 customers total. So, help them stay on top of things. Again, they reported lights out at 132nd and Pacific. Also, Midtown Omaha area experiencing some outages as well. So, yeah, just a quick update on that situation. Still a few people dealing with that issue as of 6 a.m. this morning. Drivers are also advised to use caution in the area. I know some of you get ready and make your morning commutes as you listen to us. So definitely expect, a few power lights to be out in the area as well. So, drive safely out there. And thanks for tuning in. The First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hey, there you go, Paul. There you go. There you go. But yeah, now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and dive into today's topics and conversations. Kicking off with the Following the Money. It is, again, Follow the Money Season 4B. We've been looking at one of the major developments as far as economically in North Omaha, the Inland Port Authority, and mostly the featured project, the Omaha Business Park, especially in light of some of the controversy around OEDC as of recent. Things going down on the deuce, some disputes between tenants. Definitely would love to hear what your thoughts are on the, forward progress of this business park. Again, there's been a lot of controversy around this project already with OEDC and possible, displacement, or at least fears of displacement from local residents. And now they've been apparently looking for an area to kind of combat this. And there are two sites being deemed as the two focuses. But again, the big news just yesterday revealed that the team was awarded a $90 million state grant to develop shovel-ready property for manufacturers, distributors, and other employers to build on, again, as a part of this business park. And the price tag has nearly come to $30 million. Next steps include recruitment efforts by the Chamber of Commerce of Omaha to secure tenants that can bring jobs and economic bustle to the properties. So that's kind of big. One of the big questions as far as what companies or corporations will be coming there. But again, before we even get to who's going to be moving in, where are they going to be moving? Again, there are two sites being kind of eyed right now, a 67-acre industrial tract near 16th and Locust. Now, I think not too far behind the grocery store over there. And then also another area, which would be a 13-acre site near 5906 Abbott Drive, kind of anchored by a 150,000 square foot warehouse, and also a 148 stall self parking area. So again, that's about 17.5 million for that site, and another 11.5 million for the other site. But again, a lot of questions still around this. But it looks like it's still moving forward. Shout out to not only Senator Terrell McKinney, who's been very vocal and kind of been very strict, if you will, as far as his questions with OEDC and this whole project, but also Brother Gary Clark Jr. On the job as well, saying this is exciting. Again, he is executive director of the Inland Port Authority. He also goes on to say, we've got some action, we've got some movement. So again, movement on this project that has seemingly been stagnant over the last year or so. For those of you, close to the project, paying attention, what are your thoughts in the chat? Or have you been paying attention to this? Is this something you kind of forgot about? What say you?
It's definitely been on the back burner with everything that's been going on. I've been wondering about what's happening with it, so I'm glad that there's some news here on it. I have to kind of revisit it again, to be honest. I'm listening to the report, have to revisit it. Mm-hmm. Right now, what's on my mind is Brother Clark must be serious. Because every time I see him, he got on a velvet coat and a bow tie. He ready. It's going down. I'm glad to see that there's some movement, but yeah, definitely have to revisit the situation and look at it again and understand what's happening. It is a big, huge, wherever they plan to put it, it's going to be a big, huge move in whatever area that is. Of course, it's all going to affect North Omaha. We always talk about that too. How does any of this stuff affect North Omaha? And anytime you got a project this big and this many millions coming into the area, there's a lot to talk about with that. So I definitely want to leave it to you, the people in the chat, the Ghost listeners, anybody who is associated with this project or anybody who is living around the areas they're talking about. Definitely would love to hear from you, hear your perspective and viewpoint on this. And also, if there's any more information out there, I'm sure that we have plenty of chat chimers and people that tune in that have even more information than this article is bringing out about it, so that we can kind of understand exactly what's happening and what the move is here. So yeah, definitely much more to talk about. But again, like because I have personally put it on the back burner for me, not even on purpose. It's just been like there's so much coming up that I'm just
Hmm.
like, I got to kind of revisit it and get back to figuring out how I feel about it again for a start.
Yeah, yeah. A few people are chiming in. Or brother RG saying the former grocery store on 16th and Locust, so right there on that corner area, as far as a possible site or location. Which I do know there's some residents in that area, which is
Hmm.
a big point point out in this article of the fact that again, although there are two locations that they're currently looking at, one that specific location at 16th and Locust was actually one of the original locations before kind of the Carter Lake area that had a lot of controversy with residents kind of fearing that would be relocated. That area actually had some issues as far as remediation and again
Mm,
taking cleaning the soil and getting it what they
wow.
call shovel ready, which might actually increase the cost of that location. So there's still some questions about that, but one of the big questions, of course, is whether or not people will be relocated, and that's still something that they're saying is not a possibility, or at least going to be the outcome. But of course, we gotta, as they still try to lock in a location, what does that mean for nearby residents? So again, we're going to keep our eyes on this situation. Hopefully, you will do so as well. These are public meetings, so let's stay on top of it. And also, big shout out to documenters who I believe have been going to some of these meetings as well. So yeah, we're gonna keep following the money on this one. Remember, it is tied to the whole Insorg situation, one of the largest projects to come out of the North and South Omaha Recovery Grant program. So again, yeah, we're gonna continue following the money, man.
Yep. Yeah. Interesting that you're talking about remediation and stuff like that. That area down there in 16th had a whole lot of lead
Man,
smelting plants and all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's part of the problem with us is that our neighborhoods have always been right next door to all this real bad industrial stuff. So I hope that maybe some of the money can be used for cleaning some of that up. Maybe they can go ahead and spend the extra money to clean up that area and then put the new places there. So yeah, lots to figure out. I think the grocery store you're talking about there over there on 16th and Locust is Chubb's, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, and I heard that they're closed down, but it's a rumor that they're not opening back up. They're supposed to open back up. I don't think they have any plans on replay on putting it down on the corner that Chubb's is on. But I have to look into that. I have to try to find a little bit of evidence on that. But there is areas like across the street from there that
Hmm.
have abandoned buildings and stuff like that for a long time. But there's also like churches right across the street from there that are active. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see the areas that they're talking about too, and kind of we have an advantage of being here in North Omaha where we can kind of roll around and look at them spots, and we know people that live
Hmm.
in them spots and so on. So again, lots to talk about that is not being talked about in articles like this. We'd love to reach out to people who are associated with that, connected to these areas, and find out what you guys feel about it as well. So we'll definitely do that. And with that, we can move on from there. But yeah, please be on the lookout for that and deliver any information that you can on it to us over at Friends of First Sky Omaha, the group page on Facebook, where the conversation continues when we're not live. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and I guess my kind of final moment or comment on this, um, is the Omaha Chamber portion of it all. Not to gloss over the fact that the chamber will be the entity kind of responsible for enticing, possible tenants and jobs. And again,
Mm,
this whole project is about bringing jobs to North Omaha. Jobs that will pay a living wage that are accessible. You ain't got to take a bus, plane, and the train to get all the way out to other side of town just to get to the job. It's right there by the airport, by Carter Lake, and hopefully these will be jobs. So again, if there's any industries, I think that actually a chat chimer has brought up that question in previous episodes, previous questions. What are some of the four accessible industries, especially for black folk? As far as our skill base, some of the things we have access to as far as training and education. If you have some ideas, reach out to the chamber, or at least reach out to them to see what they're thinking about as far as potential jobs. So yeah, get a part of that conversation as well.
and reach out to them and let them know it better not be no data center.
Man, that part, because yeah, not a lot of
I
jobs.
like what Archie's talking about. Word on the street. Word is the former Chubbs about to be another MP Mart.
Oh
Woo-wee.
man,
We better ask. We better check in with Sherman Wells on that one. That's crazy. Good morning, fam. I see Alan Faisland in the chat. Good morning, first guy in the morning. Appreciate you coming
Hey,
on
in
through.
the morning.
Marla says I'm 50-50 with this. While I think
Hmm.
this is a great idea and will bring many jobs, I hate that people may have to be displaced when it comes to this. I really think they're trying to avoid that. I think the whole reason
Yeah.
why they're looking at a second site is so that they don't displace some people because shout out to Terrell McKinney and everybody who's Senator Terrell McKinney, put some respect on his name, who
Hmm.
is who's put he'll have these committees out here where they're talking to the people and find out what the people want. And some of those people chimed up like, "Don't come imminent domain me out of my
Right.
spot." And that prompted them to go look at some other spaces. So I think they're doing a little active job this time of keeping track of whether or not people getting displaced. So, but we'll see, Brother Harrison. I understand what you're saying for sure.
Yeah. And again, the idea is to bring jobs and to spur economic development and to bring movement, not push people out. So, hopefully this will do that. But as we talk about that, let's transition into the next article.
Word.
Again, talking about North Omaha, and I mentioned earlier as far as the connection sometimes we might have with rural areas that we don't necessarily think about, but definitely the job situation is something that is felt both in North Omaha and also Lexington, Nebraska, who has again been rocked by the closing of the Tyson food plant. Shout out to Sherwood Foundation, I guess, trying to help with the situation. But my question is it enough? And what other help could there be? Again, if you don't know, the Tyson food plant has rocked the community of Lexington, Nebraska. Again, just about a third of the community has basically lost their jobs overnight with no real replacement in sight. But again, there are entities, organizations, but specifically nonprofits stepping up, trying to help in this situation. Sherwood Foundation is stepping up to the tune of $1.1 million in a gift that they are using and spreading out in partnership with Lutheran Family Services. This, according to an article from Nebraska Examiner. Shout out to Cindy Gonzalez doing the work as always. But again, in partnership with Lutheran Family Services, Sherwood Foundation will begin accepting registration for the assistance on March 9th. And qualifying individuals and families will get a relief check within days. That's according to Lutheran Family Services officials. In a statement, Liz Cordina of the Sherwood Foundation says Sherwood is truly honored to stand alongside Lutheran Family Services and the broader coalition of partners working to care for the Lexington community during this challenging time. Again, as far as the $1.1 million, 1 million will go to Lutheran Family Services Tyson Relief Fund, and then another 100,000 will go to support work at the Lutheran Family Services Lexington office. Again, the Tyson plant closed, leaving about 3,200 employees without any kind of income. Again, Chris Tonigas, who's the president and CEO of Lutheran Family Services in the Lincoln area, says, we know the people of Lexington love their community and don't want to leave. Our hope is that Sherwood support, along with others, will allow us to help make that possible for them. And again, I'm not sure how many of you have been paying attention to what's been going on in the Lexington situation, but for me, it's kind of a canary in the coal mine as far as what can happen and what is going on in America. And, as far as the economic economy, industries. When I see things like this, I also think of communities like Detroit that was rocked by the closing of their automobile industry. And we talk about what industries are on the horizon, and with things like AI changing the face of industries so much so rapidly, we got to stay on top of it and talk about it as a community. Again, what is the chamber looking at? What is the city of Omaha looking at? These are questions that I've asked the mayor directly. What are these things that people are looking at? Because I'm paying attention. And don't want people to go through a 4-year degree program and then get out and that degree is obsolete, which is happening. Again, shout out to Brother Sean McCarthy, who's been telling us he's on what now, getting close to application 200. It's
Yeah,
rough out there, man. It's rough.
it's
So
hard out
yeah,
here.
man. What say you?
Yeah. Let us know. Love to hear from you. I definitely am feeling that sentiment too, buddy. When I'm thinking about everything that I'm learned about AI, data centers, who all these jobs are getting laid, people laying people off, the people that are getting replaced by what goes on with AI, and you think about technology. The last time I was really thinking about this a lot, it was a big push for programming, and they were saying people need to get into what's the future here by going to school for programming and learning these things. And
Man,
now programming is kind of obsolete because of AI.
man,
So yeah, and then of course what you think. Well, we better get back to manufacturing, but that ship is sailed too, bro. Too many people gonna hit people who will make the price lower for you overseas by the manufacturing that's been set up all over the world elsewhere. To bring it back here means prices go up because our economy is different than other economies, and that's a problem too. So when you think about what industry is going to come back here, that's a good question. That's a good question. As they build more detainment centers and prisons and stuff
man,
all over the country. So yeah, very interesting. Also, I'm thinking a little bit about that Lexington. Shout out to Lutheran Family Services. Shout out to Sherwood. We always are critical of Sherwood and critical of other organizations, but really behind the scenes they do give a lot of money in places that is really needed. I don't really know how much, like you said, is that enough? I don't know about $1 million really taking care of too much there, but at least it's a
right,
big chunk of money that has been given. I went and looked at the page. There's some eligibility requirements here on this page. Lutheran Family Services Lexington Emergency Fund must be recently laid off by Tyson Food Company in Lexington. This was on the first page, so apparently you can kind of go there if you've been laid off and get some kind of relief. So it would be interesting to find out exactly what kind of relief they're getting. And also, I'm thinking, well, if Sherwood is giving $1 million to Lutheran Family Services for this particular fund, then there's probably some way for you to do that as well. If anybody who want to donate to the Lexington Emergency Fund through Lutheran Family Services, they can, and maybe help. So this is the first time I'm seeing that part too. Anybody that's actually has an official page up to be able to help some of them families that are out there suffering from that closure. And you mentioned Detroit, and we were just talking about this the other day. States can't go bankrupt, but cities can
man,
absolutely go bankrupt. And Detroit definitely went bankrupt. I come from a city, San Bernardino, California, that has gone bankrupt. So it is very possible for your city to go bankrupt, and all it really takes is like for one of the major industries in that city to close down. People who had jobs don't have them no more, and they either move or they're destitute or whatever the problem is. And what are you going to do about it? So when we see that the state has a huge deficit here, when we talk about the Omaha city budget, when we talk about OPS budgets, all them things are could we're not close to it, I don't think, but it could go the other way in a big way for the city. And what does that end up meaning? So there's a lot of questions there, man, for sure. But I think that it's an interesting study here. It's not just us that's studying Egypt; it's nationwide. This is a nationwide story that's happening here. People are paying attention to what's going on in Lexington for real.
man.
So yeah, it's got to be an ongoing conversation there for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and the fact that again, this what is the state doing is also kind of my thought. And when you actually take in consideration what happened as far as policies leading to this situation, again, Tyson, which is an Arkansas-based company, announced on November that the reason behind the Lexington plant closing was saying that the company sought to quote unquote right size operations as again the cattle supply raised costs for U.S. processors, and again they had to tighten up their operations. And if you remember, Trump electing to move cattle processing and imports to Argentina, which obviously rocked states like Nebraska, that have huge cattle imports and exports. So, yeah, yeah. Again, what is the state doing? Does the state have the money to help with this type of situation? We know their situation. So, yeah, these are definitely some things to take in consideration to look at.
Big time, man. Marlon Harrison is talking about the point here too. He says L.A. is
Man,
getting hit hard because the film and TV industry is leaving L.A., going to different cities like Atlanta, London, Toronto, New York, and Chicago. Everybody's industry getting hit hard for sure. I'm thinking about just in as a whole. It seems like some of the places that were the industry dissolving some kind of way, and what's in place of it? What's in place of
man.
it? It's directly connected to these conversations we're having about private jail system
Mm,
and ICE facilities and so on and so forth. We hear more about money going to those things and growth in those industries than anywhere else. Can you name another industry that's is growing as fast as ICE detention centers and stuff.
Man.
Marlon Harrison said, "Let's remember Omaha, especially North and South Omaha, was hit hard when a lot of meat packing and stockyards closed down. Yeah,
Man, I
we
mean,
lived through this.
that's kind of my theory. Like after a certain generation, as far as like our my grandparents, and maybe yours too, Paul. Like, how many of us know a grandparent or a relative that worked in either the meat packing or stockyard industries? I mean, both my grandparents did. I don't know about yours, but
Yeah, yeah, but like you said, everybody who migrated over here was either in the packing houses or the railroad.
that's it.
So all those things have changed big time. Even especially over there on the south side, meat packing plants and stuff like that, big time change. I remember in the '80s, my family was heavily involved in in the telemarketing scene here, because that was the industry for a while. Everybody and their mom worked at West Telemarketing. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a
Mhm.
big
Man,
industry. It's not
yeah, I
so big
worked
of an
there.
industry anymore like it was before. Things have shifted that way, not as drastically as the meat packing places closing, but it
Hmm.
was a drastic shift in the '80s and '90s too when people came out of that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Would actually love to speak to Carmen Tapio about that. She's about to open her headquarters in North Omaha, on the Deuce.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that industry looking like?
Different, different. As a matter of fact, this business expo that's happening with the Empowerment Network with Revive tomorrow. When I went to this last month, I believe it was, Carmen Tapio was there. She's with North End Teleservices. She's the one that has built that, and that's the biggest telemarketing company owned by somebody black in the Midwest. And it's getting ready to do more construction over here. But she talked a little bit about that industry, and that industry is way different than it used to be. It's not,
Yeah.
you taking orders from Time Life or nothing like that. They're acting as call centers and stuff for companies. Data, there's a lot of it. We'll have to have her on and talk more about it because I can't remember everything. But I just remember thinking, oh, telemarketing industry is way different than it used to be for sure. We'll have to talk about it. And don't forget about this, the State of Black Business. This is happening again. This is where you can learn a lot from a lot of the organizations that are connected to all these, to North Omaha in a big way. Tomorrow, March 7th, 2026, 8:30 to 11. You have to register for this, so definitely check this out. You can go to reviveomaha.com and register to come through because there will be breakfast served and so on. But definitely check this out. This is a great resource to find out about a lot of businesses that are connected to us that we have access to that are here for the support of black business, which is huge as far as I'm concerned. I think it's a resource that we're not tapping all the way. So definitely check this out. Shout out to Revive. Shout out to Empowerment Network, Willie Barney, everybody that's going to be coming through. Appreciate everybody who came to the last ones. And I definitely encourage you to do this for sure. Before we get to our special guest that's coming in here very shortly, I just wanted to give a shout out. Kimber Snipes says, shout out the neighborhood associations who got started on the eminent domain issue last year. That was
Word.
neighborhood associations that stepped into that fight. She's naming
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe Higgins. Appreciate that. Yep. Also, Pops in the chat says, yep, San Bernardino had two major industries closed and devastate the aerospace industry and Norton Air Force Base. I remember I grew
Mm.
up around Norton Air Force Base when it was shut down. I don't even think I remember when it was open.
Man.
It's just parking lots and desolate buildings and stuff like that all around. It looked like a ghost town. If you can picture a Air Force base as a ghost town, that's what it looked like.
Man.
All of our car clubs used to go to that area, and that's where you went and showed off your car and had street races and everything.
Mm.
Fast and the Furious came to Norton Air Force Base to pick out car clubs and pick cars to be in that movie, and that was that was from Norton Air Force Base because it was just abandoned.
Dang.
So yeah, so I kind of when I was growing up there, I was growing up into the situation where it all had shut down by the time I came around, so it just was on steady decline. So yeah, cities can absolutely go bankrupt, and that tells you something about our system. That tells you something about our countries. If we talking about follow the money, this country is a corporation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For sure.
Kind of a
Big time.
trip. Kind of a trip. We appreciate everybody's comments here. Michael Watson saying North Omaha is going to revive solely on food, sports, and clothing stores that can only hire one or so people. Hear that?
Says not going to revive.
Not going to. Heather Williams says most of Mrs. Tapio's line groups are connected through the federal and state government. It's a good place to work and it pays well, most definitely.
Okay.
She says, I'm enjoying my time there. There you go.
Okay, so
You know,
you're
you
there. You're currently okay.
love it. Love it. We're going to jump into a break real quick and then come back with our special guest because he is in the house. Stay
Hey,
tuned. Marcey Yates coming up. Shout out to everybody who's joining us today. Get your questions ready. It's going down. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Hall B, buddy to God. Stay tuned, y'all.
Hey.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome
Oh,
back. For
okay.
Sky Omaha in the morning.
Hey, in the morning.
I'm Paul B. He's buddy to God, and we got Marcey Yates in the house. Yo,
Hey, what up?
Hey.
what's good, bro?
What's good though?
Hey, what's good, bro?
Okay, cool. Everything, man. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all dudes, man. What's up?
Man,
Peace, y'all.
likewise, brother. Likewise, likewise. Peace, God. Peace, peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going
Mr.
on, man?
Paul
I'm glad
B.
you're getting up early, bro. Thanks for getting up so
Yeah,
early with us.
yeah.
I,
Like
I
you
hate
just
Man,
woke up.
I hate asking musicians to get up early because I know how we do. So I appreciate you.
man, it's all good, man. Listen, I've been getting up early this year. I've been working
Okay.
out, early in the
Okay.
morning, just making it part of my daily routine. So I'm up. I get to sleep earlier these days, and some nights is extended, but not all of them.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Balance. Balance. Man, I
Yeah.
love it. I love
That's
to hear
grown.
that, brother. I
That's
love it.
grown man talk right there. That's grown man talk right there, bro. Love it. Love it.
Hey, hey.
Appreciate it, man. Well, we know that you got a release that's happening right now, man. And Mark Matter came on the chat a little earlier and said first thing he said this morning, he was like, "Yo, Vanilla Sky Part 2 on vinyl at Homer's, come on through."
Man,
So
pick it up.
yeah,
Yeah,
man,
for sure.
that's what's
Hmm.
up. Tell us about your newest release, man.
Yeah, as you said, Vanilla Sky 2, it is out on vinyl right now. So yeah, please go down to Homer's, run it up. It is a follow up to Vanilla Sky. I released that in 2014, I believe, and so that's around 12 years ago.
Man.
And that's yeah, that was the first project I dropped when I was just coming onto the scene. Um, and so that was the first record I dropped that had got some OEA nominations and stuff like that,
Hmm.
and I was able to just kind of just build off of that momentum going forward, man. So I felt like enough time passed, and I wanted to drop something to commemorate like this time period.
For
That's what's
sure, for sure. Yeah, actually that was my follow up question. Like, what was kind of the mentality going back, to that project, going back to that time? Like, why did that feel like a appropriate time to kind of revisit that era?
Yeah, like when I going back and listening to it, like the content was just slightly different, though it was still
Mm,
conscious and still about my life, and that's what it is about my life though. So I'm in a different phase of my life at that time. So fast forward to now, I've done a lot of things, I've accomplished a lot of things, and I have a lot of things on the horizon though. So um that's me writing another chapter, right?
mm-hmm.
So you had the first chapter with Vanilla Sky, and this is just another chapter in the book. Look at
Man,
look at
you
Yates.
look, look how young.
young
Three
fresh,
Yeah,
locks.
fresh
yeah.
face, Marcy Yates, right there. There you go.
Nah, man, for real though, like there's a period of time where I watched that movie like a lot, Vanilla Sky, and
Mm,
and I thought it was an interesting movie, and I like the tagline on it. So if you pull that photo back up, let's see real quick. You can see under there it says love, hate, dreams, life, work, play, friendship, sex, right? like that's pretty much everybody's life, right?
Mm.
And so, I have a habit in like a history of pulling from either like novels or like movie titles and stuff when I'm coming up with these album titles.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's
Man. Yeah.
you picked a good one. It's definitely as a film buff myself,
Uh,
and historian of film and also a critic of film. That it is one of those movies that is in the category of how it is that our reality exists around us, like what we build, what it means, and how we live in either in our head or we living outside in somebody else's head in reality,
Mm.
and how we navigate that. So is you picking that title is what made me actually go listen to this the first time around because anybody who references something that deep is gonna have something deep to say on it. And
Right.
you
Right.
absolutely did. So are you continuing that theme of those kind of deep thoughts here on Vanilla Sky too, but as an older Marcey Yates? Is that the premise behind this?
uh, yeah, yeah. So it's different. Like as I'm older, as more of an adult, it's there's different phases that you move into with your life. So
Mhm.
I'm touching on those things too. And of course, paying homage to the journey. And for anybody who's had a gap period from listening to Marseille, they'll be caught up.
Man, that's
So
dope. That's dope. Definitely as an artist on the journey myself, you find that the journey is the destination. So being able to kind of tell that story is definitely a beautiful thing. A lot of life since then. Of course, you're a father, business owner, community advocate with the Culxr House. So definitely looking forward. Are there any like standout tracks that you want to highlight or that singles that you pushing from the project?
So the first single that was released was a track called 414, and that was a song that was inspired by my daughter. She had asked me to write a song, so that was a song I had wrote.
Mm,
It's there's some lettering towards her, right? Overall, just being the song that she could, you know people can just take from. Then the second single was Hidden Gems, and that was a song that featured uh, uh, Midtopia artist.
mm,
Her name was Paris Jane, so she's based out of Wichita, Kansas. So she's on that, singing the hook on that song. Those
dope.
are the first two singles I had released from the project. But for me, every song I like, I love equally. I've ran some visuals for Gift and Curse, which I think is probably like maybe my favorite song on there.
Okay.
Um, and that song was inspired by Jay Z, the Gift and the Curse. That
Mm,
and it was one of them songs he had, and he was like, first they love me, then they hate me, then they love me again. Uh, I forgot what song it was. I think it was a Gift and a Curse song. But anyways, man, for me, it's 9 tracks, just like the last one was, right? And I tend to kind of stay on that line of tracks, 7 to 9.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So what you gonna get, man, is soulful music, right?
Definitely.
Um, a nice jazzy feel, something warm, and of course, again, like I said, just something you can feel, original.
yeah.
Man. Man.
Mhm.
I got a question for you, man. This is a little off topic, closely related though. I know that Jay Z and that whole movement has been a huge influence on you coming up, and you've been with this with that viewpoint for a long time. We're in an era now where Jay is a billionaire. This is the follow the money season, so we got to talk a little bit about whether or not your viewpoint has shifted, or if anything is different now that the situation seems like, well, not the situation, but I feel like we all kind of related to Jay young when we were younger with the hustle to get up to where he's at now. Now he's in a position that is way different than it was before. What's your relationship to that camp now?
My relationship to that camp.
Well, your thoughts on your on the way the camp influences you now.
Oh, most definitely, like I said, just phases, and there's, saying there's steps. So, for me, just making progress, over the years, becoming an entrepreneur, and learning much more about the business, getting into different situations, in the music business, with different like labels to help me learn more about the game. So I think like from coming out of one mode, which is like a survival mode, and then getting into a mode where you can now like focus, recenter your focus, right? Recalibrate, plan for the future, right? You know what I'm saying? And knowing that the work you put in is granting you more time in the game, you know?
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Man, I actually wanted to ask about that. I'm glad you kind of touched on that, Paul. As far as the business aspect of it, I think last time we spoke, you were getting ready to go on tour, and you had kind of mentioned Midtopia, which is again an organization. But you've been making moves just in general, leading the charge as far as Omaha indie scene and getting in deals. Of course, big move with the whole Saddle Creek move and the Freedom Summer project. What is your situation looking like right now as far as the music business of it all? Are you still dealing with Midtopia? How was the tour? Another tour? What's it looking like?
Yeah. Yep, I'm still dealing with Midtopia. Running with them over there. They've been very very helpful, just having like a team, all these different
Hmm.
departments that it takes, to really moving forward and try to make a footprint, you know. Um the tour was great, it was fun. Um you hitting places that you never been. So,
Hmm.
you hope to just plant seeds, go there again, expand your turf, build connections with the locals there, the artists there. So I met a lot of different creative people, people I still keep relationships with. Those are the ones that help share your music in those markets as well
Hmm.
too. So the relationship building is very important. Just being genuine, while you're out there. The road isn't the road for me isn't like some things is for people, some things aren't. Like I'm more of a
Hmm.
fly guy, like flying rather than like driving,
Hmm.
15 hours, 16 hours, like because on the way back is the longest, you feel me?
Yeah.
So you head into those places that may be 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours, but then once you get to that last spot, bro, you gotta work your way, you work your way back. So you want to make sure you got some things booked on your way back, so you can kind of chop that up too, like when you're moving around,
Hmm.
especially on the tour, man, because it become a little bit of a drag, just a little bit,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
but
That tour
yeah,
life, road life is not for the weak.
yeah, for sure. But once you get there, once you get your recharge, man, all is forgotten, man. So
Yeah.
for me, this year I plan on hitting the road again.
Okay.
I got a festival in a couple of weeks, Tree Fort Festival, so I'll be out in Boise, Idaho for a couple of for that week. I got a couple of shows out there.
Nice.
Um, yeah, man. Tree Fort been going for a long time, so it's one of the long running indie fest going on. So I seen Amber Mark is gonna be playing out there, which
Hmm.
is if you're familiar with her, like
Mhm.
that's the one I've been following for a while in the indie scene. She's pretty dope. Um, yeah, I'll be out in Colorado in April, um, revisiting a spot that I went to on tour. So just doing some one-offs right now, while I push this album and putting together a string of shows for another tour that I'll do later this year.
For sure. For sure.
Man, Midtopia is an interesting thing. I'm gonna put Midtopia in the chat for you guys to kind of take a look at this organization because it's hitting me. We talked about it before, but this headline right here, "Community Through Music," is really interesting. It's actually a 501c3 company, and it's got me really curious on how it is that they're supporting the arts and putting these tours and these things together. We should probably dig in at some point and really kind of talk about what that is and if that's a model that we might be able to copy here some kind of way. And if you're already on that tip, you know what I
I
mean?
think I think like it's something that could be adopted. Like the idea from Utopia was what I think was groundbreaking. Unfortunately, it's not going to continue past this phase, right?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So the experience that I had with them was more of a learning experience for something to adopt and then apply for Culxr House and Culxr House Records. Um,
Word.
like the unfortunate thing is like here in the Midwest, sometimes you don't have the markets of LA and New York. So a forward idea may not, show may not show the results that maybe, you
Hmm.
know, right? Like
Right.
early on. So Midtup is like and I'll explain to you a great roster of artists, of indie artists all throughout this country that are doing great things. So it's a collective first and foremost of artists that take the craft serious and that are making waves, in their own areas.
Hmm.
And with it being a 501c3 or C4, is one of the two. So which means that it's funded,
Hmm.
and so that they have the opportunity to um fund projects, right, and fund artists. So imagine, like, you get a budget, right, instead of having to um worry about how you're going to pay for ads, or how you're going to pay for all these other things, right, that
Right.
go into releasing a project. We all know they're going to, and like, releasing a project is going to cost you 10 bands or more, like
Man.
properly, like
Hmm.
properly to release. Whether it's a single, it's gonna be the same thing. Whether it's a project, right? And we talking about for it to, like, get outside of your local market.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because again, you have the advertising, you have the PR you got to pay for, you have the ads you got to pay for, all the boosting you got to do. It's a lot of stuff now that you have to do as an artist to move your music.
Hmm.
um, it's unfortunate because that's not the way that how we came into it. So along this journey, me having to, like, be a student of it and learn how to transition and things like that has been like has has been a challenge. But like, it just shows, like, man, like, the game moves, and how technology and how the industry has done, man. It's just moving a lot of different ways. From when I
Hmm.
first came in, was releasing music. I was one of the first artists releasing on Spotify. Right? Remember,
Mm.
it's not that old, right?
Hmm.
Right.
It's not that old. And then with Apple Music, and then you got to the, like, the Tidals, and then all these other streaming platforms, and then now you hit, and then, like, COVID happens, and then that shifted the whole industry again, right?
Right.
From like the way that people consume music, the way they watch it, the way they, like, attend or engage, like interact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of that, man.
Yeah.
So again, man. So being able to be with an organization, then you having your different teams for different departments, so that you as a solo artist, an indie artist, don't have to worry about doing all these things before you drop something,
Right.
making all these contacts, engagements, all these things. Like, it's a lot of things that you got to do.
Right.
Man.
And it's not to deter, but it's just to bring the reality. Some people really think that they're dropping something when they upload to YouTube, or when they
That's
just,
it.
like, or when they just get digital distribution just on, like, the Spotify or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
no, there's, like, a lot more to it if you're, like, really serious about trying to earn some, like, revenue, or try to earn some royalties,
Right.
or try to make those moves to where, like, like, it pays, for
Right.
Hmm.
for some all the work that you did to even, like, create this piece of work.
Bro, I'm gonna get to. I want to make a little transition here. First of all, it's 8:03 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, you're now in the second hour of First Guy Omaha in the morning,
In the morning.
and we're here with brother Marcey Yates of Culxr
Hey.
House, and we were talking about something, and I'm glad we shifted here because this is very, very interesting to me, and I want to juxtapose this against Buddy and you, the situation that you're in, and seeing the business from your side as well. But this is a very significant thing. First of all, brother Yates, I'm so happy that you're a student of the business in the way that
Gotta
you
be.
are. You're not just an artist, but you're actually
Mhm.
digging into the way that you could be able to provide a platform for other artists to be able to thrive from, and not just release something, but make some money with it in the way that you're thinking about it. And it's very poignant that you're taking some example from another Midwestern kind of a situation here with this Midtopia organization that's a 501c3, which is a trip to me because we live in such a nonprofit industrial complex here in Nebraska that it's almost like it makes sense to borrow from that to add to the music industry to build something that is particular for our area, not the same as other LA, New York markets, and so on and so forth. And I kind of want to hear more about it because I think it's such a genius idea to study that, to incorporate that to figure out where our resources are at, and doing it all with this idea that you want to build something with Culxr House Records that can help other people do what they do. Before we get there, though, I just want to make sure that everybody does know this, because we got really far into it. Your album release listening experience is happening tonight over at OTO Hi-Fi Lounge. Shout out to Brother Kethro and them for putting this thing
Hey,
together. You at the place to be with this album release. That's what's happening. So definitely check it out 6 to 8 tonight. And don't forget, man, get your vinyl, get your vinyl collection right for real. Go down,
man.
go down to Homer's, get your record collection right. He's on vinyl. We got to go. We got to also slip into talking a little bit about physical media and the return of physical media because of what's been going on with Spotify and everything else. Love to hear your viewpoints on that. And then, buddy, I'd love to juxtapose this with what you are dealing with there in Atlanta, and knowing about the record industry and the way that you are, how that's different from the Midwest industry. You know where I'm going with
Hmm.
this. I'm feeling excited about it, brother.
Okay.
Brother Yates, tell us about your tell us about your first of all, tell us about your album release coming up, and yeah, let's give it a little plug on that.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for plugging that. Tonight is the official release party and listening pop up. I'll have physical copies. We'll put the record on at 7 o'clock. Play
Hey,
through it. You can grab you some merch. You can hang out. Chill. And like you said, this is the newest hot spot. It's the place to be.
man,
Man,
I seen all
support
the
it.
homies up in there DJing already. Listen, you go in there, they got records all on the walls. They got the I think they the function ones. I'm not sure. Keith, like, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. But the sound system is so warm, you can feel that sub. The way it's set up, it'll hit you right in your chest. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Man,
sounds
Yeah,
man,
incredible.
for real.
experience the music.
Yeah, man, they got the glass booth, and then you got the turntables, and you got the CDJs. So you go in there, and you shouldn't have a problem getting busy. You know, so
That's real.
We lost them.
He come back. He come back. Well, yeah, while he's out, man, I definitely want to give a shout out. Definitely give a shout out. It's got to go. It's got to
OTO.
go down. There he is. You back? You back?
I'm back, man. On the
Uh, yeah, we
on the
appreciate
behind.
Man,
appreciate you dealing with the tech here on this, and coming back with us.
Okay, yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good. But yeah, tonight though, so from 6 to 8 though, so pull up, come hang out,
support.
come say what's up, come support. Yeah,
that's what's up, man.
Man, yeah, I see Pops in the chat kind of giving love to the last hi-fi kind of situation. He says, ergo the hi-fi house, a fantastic endeavor, but not the support they would have had in LA or NYC. And again, man, we just got to go and support, man. Just got to go support it. Pull up, pull up,
That's
that's
real.
it. Really, just pull up and support it. Um,
man. Catch the vibes. Yeah,
yeah,
but on that tip, Paul, I know you wanted to ask some more things about the just the music industry in general, especially juxtaposed to what's going on here in Atlanta.
Yeah, we don't want to keep brother all day long, but I did want to hear a little bit about just the juxtaposition between what he's talking about, the way that he's talking about the industry has to kind of work around here, and how it's working in how the mainstream industry is working, and the difference between that. Can you see where I'm going with the way that he is approaching how to handle this in the Midwest,
Mm-hmm.
which is different from what's going on in major city industries? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I appreciate the question, and actually, it's reflecting a question in the chat that I wanted to get to from Tony Johnson. Marcy, you still there?
oh yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tony Johnson is asking, Marcy, do you think the entertainment industry is a viable tool for revitalization of current North Omaha, which is definitely a thing here in Atlanta as far as just the integration of that in the industry is definitely a thing here in Atlanta. Do you see that kind of bubbling up in Omaha with some of the programs, some of the classes, some of the connections that are available? Even bringing artists to the Omaha area. What do you see as far as the entertainment industry, especially in North Omaha?
I think that is the key component. I think it's
Mm,
valuable for entertainment to be down in the area because it's gonna add automatic tourism and
mm-hmm,
economic impact, and that's what you want people to come down and you want people to spend money. You want to have things for the people that are in the neighborhood as well too. So then that's your daily dollar, traffic, foot traffic, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it's valuable. I think it has to be presented in the right way though, and the
mm,
demographics has to be intentional. I mean, I think that's kind of key for any business that's operating in those markets is being intentional. And I think that with all the surrounding, and having community buy-in, I think that that's what's important. But yeah, and again, like, we have these things that open up, and does the word spread around quick enough? Sometimes no, and these would
Mhm.
be great ideas, and sometimes they can't last what the rent is before things get going, and these businesses don't always last. So the the main concern is like someone putting these things right in areas where people aren't used to going yet,
Mhm.
and then convincing people to come down there for it when there's
Hmm.
aren't other things around there to
Right.
keep them entertained once they leave there.
Right.
That becomes the bigger problem, right? So yes, but in part of having restaurant places to sit down and eat, shopping to keep people down in the area, I think that'll benefit the rebuilding corridor and community most.
Man, I think we can definitely talk about, and I agree, we could definitely talk about the community and the people support. But I'm also curious about the city support. I mean, you kind of work, in an interesting position, working, between the community, trying to get people to come out for events, working with the nonprofit sector, engaging nonprofits and partnership. I would also engage in the city and certain things. And we've kind of seen, we've seen some issues with like certain venues getting closed down due to liquor licenses and things like that. What environment, as far as the city government goes, the mayor's office, do you feel like they're providing to help flourish or hurt that, an entertainment industry? Do you feel like this, as far as the city government goes, is the right environment?
I think that and I believe, like, I've seen a study that shows like the percentage of revenue like the arts and entertainment is responsible for, like that, like in the city and stuff like that, and it's
Mm,
right up there. So it's a lot of money that's driven in that area. So people are you know going out to see those things, and the city are supporting projects, but depending on where they're supporting them at, and who's getting the access to like those funds to
hmm.
help develop those infrastructures and redevelop those, like, those buildings to have those businesses. So we see it all the time in downtown, like these things pop up pretty quick. A new venue here, things here, they're able to secure funding, but they already have a history of redeveloping or existing for a while. So I think that, like, the trickle down isn't you know is where it's at, right? So the
Right.
trickle
Hmm.
down effect doesn't hasn't proved to be, what I'm saying, like, evident, right? It feels like the big dogs just get a chance to keep doing more of what they do, right?
Mhm.
Right.
And then they'll build something new, but it'll still be to the same audience that demographic that they already are supporting. So therefore, the demographic that that's often left out still don't have things to get into.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah. I
Right.
really, I really love this idea though. That I mean, you're working within that situation. So you're here in the state. You recognize these things, and you still are figuring out ways to circumvent what's happening here. With this really kind of attracted to this idea that we can build some kind of infrastructure, whether it be for profit or nonprofit, out here to raise dollars, through arts and humanities is what I'm thinking about as well. To
Hmm.
really understand that if we need a three or fourfold approach to this. We need venues inside the situation here that can build, but we also need ways to fund artists to get on a bus and go elsewhere, to go on
Yeah.
tour, do some of the things that they, and reach these other industries as well. And where do we get dollars for that? In a city in a state that doesn't have a professional industry for it. And to me, I feel like you're on the top echelon of people that are in this state, dealing with this state, and still trying to make something happen in that way. That me and you have talked about this personally recently when we went out of town for that thing, and we were talking about what would keep people here, what would bring people here, and we talked about champions in town that would build a scene in town that
Hmm.
people would want to be drawn to and come to, and then also that can raise enough loot to get people shipped out to other places and industries. So I really feel like you having the Culxr House, you also being an artist is just as important. for you being a champion of this scene and really approaching this scene in a different in a intelligent way, in a way that you are witnessing what's happening in our state, in our city, what we have to deal with, and then figuring out ways to circumvent that. So I feel like I can't wait to talk to you at some point in the future about what your roadmap is for that, and how we can plug you in with like we're buddies at over here in Atlanta doing things, where we got our connections out in LA and other places that can enhance that. And that's kind of what I'm hoping that I'm quite sure you probably got that going on already, but I'm just thinking about where we're at and how we can collab on partnering on those things. What's your thoughts on future plan here with that in mind?
Just having the right team
Mm-hmm.
to put it forward. I can't do it alone. So it take
Right.
guys like Buddy, guys like yourself, to want to come to that table and we together create that playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have my input and suggestions, roadmaps or you know tools and resources I can bring, but we are bringing those to the table and say, hell, this is what I'm strong at, this is what I can do, and say, this is the playbook, guys. This is what I learned. This is what I think we should do.
Yeah.
Right? Then you say, hey, well, I think this, I think that. Okay. Oh, what about this, that, and we agree on it. Then again, we figure out what's that gonna cost. All right.
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 And then we get after it, and then we prove that is worth the money. You know.
For sure.
Well, you
For
got me
sure.
hyped on this Love Supreme Friday here.
Man, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. And I mean, has already been movement in that direction. We're actually, really, really liking what I'm seeing as far as the partnership between the Culxr House and Omaha Performing Arts and the Hip Hop Lab and some of the things
Bro.
that's been going on. And we'll actually be talking about the Tanaska Art Center here in a second. But can you kind of speak to that? Some of those changes and movements as far as with the Hip Hop Lab, some of the talkback series that you've been a part of, some of the things that you had come to the Culxr House and what that means and just the impact that you've seen from those kind of, events.
Yeah, the partnership with Omaha Performing Arts and the Hip Hop Lab is a partnership, a relationship that we do value. We it it puts us in a another platform that
Mm-hmm.
elevates the awareness, elevates our awareness to another demographic that otherwise wouldn't know, and we do the same thing too, and vice versa with them. In terms of engaging them more into our North Omaha community.
Mm.
Just having that cross posting and cross pollination. The hip hop lab is growing. Right, we're on our, well, I believe it's third season or second season. I think it's our.
Uh-oh. Losing.
We have a chance to work with international people that were like, and that still are,
Man.
important, or like giants. So
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact that folks here can learn more about these legends and some of these shoulders that what I'm saying, we stand on, but also get a chance to engage with them, learn more about their story, be inspired, things like that. So the block party we had last year was dope. We got
Mm-hmm.
another block party coming up this year. We
Okay.
hosting a wild style movie at Culxr House, which is gonna be
Hey,
pretty dope. So, are y'all there?
Yeah, we still here, man.
man.
Can you hear us? Check one, check one.
Uh-oh, might have lost him out.
Lost him.
Dang, everybody froze.
Definitely go to Omaha Performing Arts,
Okay.
man. Check out the whole situation with the Hip Hop Lab and keep up with some
Yeah,
of these
yeah,
dates that we're talking about too. These events happening. Yo, can you hear us?
yeah. Back.
Check.
We here, man. Try to restart. Try to restart real quick before we get you out of here. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Tech issues. That's what it is. But yeah, definitely check this out, man. Hip Hop Lab. What Omaha Performing Arts is doing here with the Hip Hop Lab is pretty dope. And I really think that you need please do us a favor. Take look at those dates. Really look at those dates and see when some of these things are going to support this Hip Hop Lab. I'm so glad that they're continuing on
Yeah,
this
man.
this Tanaska situation here. I don't know if we didn't talk about the building yet, but this it's getting ready to. I think it's built now, and then it get
Yeah,
ready to
yeah.
open.
They'll have the open house later this month, and then programs I believe start next month. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
We'll be talking about that here in a second.
Brother Yates, you there?
can you see me? Can you hear me?
Can't we can
I can
hear
hear
you?
you.
Yeah.
Can't see you.
Okay. Can you see me? Dang.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no,
here.
can't see.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, okay. But you said Tanasca is open.
It's yeah, it's completed. It isn't open
There you
yet.
go. Right,
So,
right.
but later this month, like this 20th, I think they have like a soft opening, and then
Mm-hmm.
they have an open house. Me and my band will be in there doing some rehearsing just to show off the space.
Okay.
Nice. That's what's up. If you those you can see the picture here on the screen, it is the Tenasca building. Is the building they were building right next to the the Holland Center. So this is right down there next to the Holland Center, and they've been building this for about a year and a half or something like that. It's finally built, and what we're understanding that's going to be in it is a lot of training for arts,
Yeah, man.
hip hop lab stuff's going to be in there. Brother Yates is talking about his band's going to be in there showing off the space. I definitely think we ought to pay attention to when the opening is and check this out and support it as well. So it's not just a place now down there where you can go see entertainment, but you can also be a part of the education of it. I think this is a really huge move right here for this Tenasca building to be happening. It's Omaha Performing Arts stepping into building the next artists
Yeah,
basically
man.
instead of just being the Holland Center and the Orpheum and all these places where you can go see art. They're actually stepping into teaching art and being a part of the next generation of artists coming out of Omaha, which is huge. And they
What it
sound like they
takes.
tapping the right people. They got Marcey Yates in there.
Hey.
For sure, for sure, man. I appreciate these opportunities, man, to be a part of groundbreaking projects, man. So it's cool.
That's
Oh
real.
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, man. Speaking of groundbreaking projects, again, OTO, again, definitely one of those groundbreaking things coming to Omaha. Big shout out to the whole crew behind that. And of course, as you see on the screen, Marcy getting down tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. Definitely check it out. Pull up, support. Yeah, man. Yeah, I that's pretty much all I got, man. I'm so
Yeah.
excited, man. Definitely make sure y'all also check out and pull up to the Culxr House. Some of the things going on over there. Oh man, you got any follow up questions? It seems like the chat's still going. What you think?
Yeah, we gonna let Brother Yates get out of here, but I just want to big up the album as well, man. From the stuff that I've heard, dope. I'm proud of you in this release, and please get down to Homer's and get your vinyl collection right. We
Hey,
didn't get a chance to talk about it. We'll have to talk about it next time you come on, but we got to talk about physical media and the change that's happening here with everybody kind of ditching some of these platforms and going back to physical. You've always been releasing stuff on vinyl, which is dope.
man. Yep.
You've been ahead of the game when it comes to this, and so yeah, definitely check out the album. Get you copy a copy, and if you go down to Oto, you said you're gonna have some copies there tonight too. So there you go,
I
man.
will.
Give you
Yep.
a chance to
Come get
yeah,
some.
that's what's up.
For sure. All
Make it
right.
happen.
Well,
Appreciate
hey,
you, bro.
I appreciate y'all having me, man. Till next time.
Man. Yes,
Till
sir.
next
Yes,
time,
sir.
man.
Man. Peace and
All
love,
right.
brother.
Peace
Peace,
out.
peace. All right, then
Man.
apologize for those technical difficulties. There is
Yeah.
what it is on
RG.
that. Yeah, man.
RG talking about the Friday gremlins. He said those Friday gremlins are something else. Yeah.
Really is. We'll,
Ah,
we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and jump into the comments here. We apologize we didn't get to your comments for Brother Yates before he got out of here, but we'll come back to him. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Guy Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Paul B, that's me. Buddy
Hey.
God, that's him. Stay tuned, y'all. We'll be right back.
That's it.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. For Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, buddy to God. Man,
Hey,
appreciate you
hey,
guys
hey.
jumping in. I see a whole bunch of people going off in the chat. Brother Manor.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark Manor, man. That's the dude. There needs to be a group of young people to take things forward with support from us older people, but some of us need to step aside a bit and let others bring ideas forth.
Gatekeepers is
You
what
said a
they call them.
mouthful there, bro. You said a mouthful there. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I have to agree.
Michael Watts. Just the leadership in North Omaha. We rarely see artists in the same room at the same time if they're not recognized or acknowledged. That's an interesting statement. Okay, right on. Terrace Hayes in the chat. What's up, cousin? Says the entertainment scene was iconic in North Omaha for many years. Is talk about the
Man.
history a little bit. Says
Man.
but they had venues to play both local and national. The key was they didn't wait for or depend on the city. They made it. Where are the millions that were just given to many entities in North Omaha, and why is some of that money not being used to create some of these ideas and venues? I can tell you one reason why. That stuff had to get approved,
By the
and
state.
there was a whole situation there about what got approved and what didn't get approved, as far as where that money went. We kind of know that from being on the inside of it a little bit. So yeah, that's a good question, but it begs the question: what is the industry? What is the industry of Omaha? What is the industry of Nebraska? What is our? You can say LA is movies. You can say Atlanta is music. What is the industry here? It's not the arts. So the majority of I know that the majority of that money went to any business that really had a plan to hire people. They were really looking at trying to get jobs
Mm-hmm.
For businesses to really kind of hire folks. And where this, when you figure out what industry you're in the state that you're in, then you figure out where your support's coming from, what you gonna get support for. It's never really been entertainment here. You're right. We had to build it before. The history of the Deuce, as a matter of fact, is a story of everybody who created our own entertainment industry and sustained folks, and then got people out on the chitlin circuit and everything else that happened. You're right. I think it's happening again a little bit now. And this is a different time frame, and we are spread out more than we were back then as well. We ain't all right on the north side. So we got to think about the numbers. We got to think about a lot when it comes to how it is that we can make a entertainment industry thing thrive here.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of what a lot of the folks are saying. Definitely needing venues that are leading the charge. Actually, a friend of mine was just sharing an old video of Lil Wayne at Leola's back in the early 2000s. You remember Leola's? You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely venues closing down, not opening back up or being replaced by other venues is a huge issue. Yeah, I mean, I can think of several venues just in North Omaha alone that have closed. That house either local or even national acts at some point. But also, there's a comment in the chat. Tony Johnson says, "Give me a music showcase show I can watch from home with the fundraising code for the artist, and I'm more likely to support." Also, Michael Watts says, "Talent shows and showcases were key going on all the time back in the day. Omaha NAACP should have not dropped the ball and let AXO go." What is AXO? That's kind of I'm not too familiar with that. But thinking, going back to your question, Paul, about Atlanta, and what I've learned about the area here, and how it is interesting because Atlanta wasn't always looked at as a music scene, as a
Right.
music city, and actually the guys I'm around, Outkast was a big part of changing that. Again, it was really R&B, that was real R&B and funk that was real heavy out here. You had group like Brick, the band Brick is from Atlanta. Shout out
Hey,
to them. Yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, you had that, you had TLC, of course, you had like um Babyface, with
face
what they
right.
were doing. Right. LaFace Records coming into town. Your kind of concept of a champion that was happening, while at the same time you had showcases like the Sharon Showcase, which is a huge showcase where a lot of young acts like Usher got their first introduction, and where talent agents like that were seeing some of those acts happen. And it's not even, I used to believe coming out of Omaha it was a case of talent, but now that I've been in Atlanta here several years, and for those who might not know, I'm here as a DJ. I'm a DJ down here every week. I see dozens of artists perform at a platform called New Music Monday. So at this point, I've
which
seen
is a
thousands of
showcase.
artists. Yeah, which is a showcase, which is
Right.
actually now one of the longest going showcases. We just celebrated 18 years this year. So and it's a national platform, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I've seen, thousands of artists at this point. Like personally, I've watched thousands of artists perform, and Omaha has the talent. I guarantee you, Omaha has the talent. Even so much so to where I'm having conversations with people here, and they're telling me about Omaha artists. Shout out to Ching Diamond. Shout out to Shoddy Man, who are again artists making national waves. There are people nationally, and they're from Omaha. So again, the talent is definitely there. It's all about the support. It's all about not just the people coming out spending their dollars supporting, but like I asked Marcy, what is the city of Omaha doing as far as supporting venues and not trying to take liquor licenses for venues where artists can perform? What does that look like? How friendly are the police to these types of events? Or are they shutting it down quickly? Are they giving room for people to party and kind of have a good time? Or is it over policed? All of these things play a role, and actually seeing it kind of happen here in Atlanta where some of the venues and certain, developmental um, intentions, I guess you could say, are leading to the venues being closed, and we are seeing that impact here in Atlanta. But it
Wow.
kind of takes all of those things. But also, I wanted to point out as far as our conversation about whether it is going to be an industry that flourishes in Omaha, kind of similar to how Hollywood is an industry, the film industry is an industry in LA, and the music industry is such an industry in New York. Um, I don't know if it'll be an industry to that point in Omaha, but I think when you look at other areas like Denver, like Nashville. I mean, Nashville's definitely a big music city. But you look at areas like Denver per se, even Kansas City that has a more thriving entertainment and arts industry. Like even if it's not an industry that's driving economically for the community, for the city to be enticing, it has to have a thriving arts community. San Antonio, Austin, Denver, all of these places have thriving arts communities and aren't necessarily thought of as arts cities.
Look, I don't. I would push back on that. Austin is
Okay.
absolutely thought of as an artist city. South
Well,
by
yeah, South by
Southwest,
Southwest.
right? Denver has been known as a festival city for a long time as well. And they also got the numbers as far as the cities are concerned too. These are bigger cities that we're talking about. Any bigger
Mhm.
city's gonna have thriving art scenes, whether or not they're generating the art or if they're just showcasing the art is two different things. I think too. But some of like you said, Nashville is a music city. Austin is a music city. Some of these other cities just have thriving scenes because they have venues and things like that. It's really interesting. I've had an organization for a long time now. I call people in the sevens, and we have our own sevens language. And in our sevens language, we call things L.A. style, New York style. We call them Dreamland style, and Dreamland style has to do with shedding. And if you guys are interested, if you guys don't know what shedding is, it's basically taken from this idea that you're in the house, you go out to the shed to go practice your instrument, and you are in there getting it together for it to be shown later. And Omaha has always been to a lot of us outside of Omaha as the shed spot. You had to go to Atlanta to get this idea about the talent, but I
Mhm.
came to Omaha understanding that I'm around the most talented people I've ever been with anywhere that I've ever lived.
Mm.
LA, New York, Paris, Rome, everywhere that I've ever lived. This place has the most talented people that I've ever played and been around. And I my theory behind that is because there isn't you're not if you're in LA, bro, you're at the whiskey Roxy. If you're in Hollywood, you're playing 3, 4, 5 times a night. I've heard people at that have to work during the day and then go play at night, and that's all they really do, and they're not really like if they're moving forward, they're moving forward with a project, not so much their art.
Mm.
Places that don't have a whole lot of venues and a whole lot of activity when it comes to an art scene is usually where you go find people that are masters and geniuses of their art. They're not busy going out and doing stuff or trying to make a living at it. They're just at home practicing and shedding and getting good. The artistry is huge here. So if there can be a marriage between the genius artistry here and other industries outside of here, if this place is not going to be the kind of industry that this place is never going to have that kind of support. Let's just talk about the music business for a minute. In the music business, it's not enough to just be able to play your instrument and be able to and then join a band and then go play a venue and then you just make your living playing the venue. That's not the business. The business is you get a manager, you get a lawyer that can put your stuff on placement on movies and so on and so forth. You get on tours, you get on festivals, you get on all these things in order to continue your thing. The support that we're talking about we lack here in Nebraska is that, and that's because this is not that industry. We're agriculture, insurance,
health
industry here. We don't have in LA. Every other block is an agent. Every other block is a lawyer. Every other block is a showcase happening. That's not ever going to be the industry here. We're never going to have that much support for artists. If you're going to continue on in your craft, you're always going to have to go somewhere where that craft is available. If you grew up dancing ballet, you're going to have to move to New York. That's where the industry is. You're never going to have enough infrastructure here to be a prima ballerina. If you're a talented ballerina here in Nebraska, it's just never going to happen here. So I think we need to quit worrying about the small stuff. Like a long time ago, I started worrying about whether or not we have a venue to perform. To do what? To make $100 at night performing to the same people that you around all the time? That's what this is here. What we need to do here is take this talent and plug them into places that they can actually make a living and go places and tour and do the other things in order to really make a living. That's where I feel like the industry is here. If we're going to nurture support here, doing what Marcey Yates is talking about doing with Culxr House. Culxr House is a place that nurtures support. Culxr House is a place that you can shed at. Culxr House is a place that is giving people who are starting their first entry into the arts a platform for you to be able to record, to do stuff. The support of the shed is what this place is for, and really I think that's where you thrive. And also, where what he's talking about doing, I feel like what he's talking about doing is genius. Whether it's for profit or a nonprofit company, for Culxr House Records to incorporate this idea of putting people on tour and getting them on tour and getting them outside of Omaha is genius. That's how people are going to be able to thrive.
I think you might be onto something with that. He might be onto something with that. Right. But yeah, I could definitely see that necessarily being a part of, because that is a part of the industry. Like when where do you go? Boston might not necessarily be a music town, but kids going to Berkeley coming out, looking crazy. You know what I mean? So to that point, that could be something that could drive economically in Omaha, as far as families looking at Omaha, like, hey, let's move here to prepare our child for the next step, which goes to what we're talking about as far as the Peacock Corner on the Deuce. You know what I mean? Shout out to what Noma's doing, with drum classes for the youth. Shout out to what's going on at the Shirley Tyree Theater and what's going on the Deuce, which also takes us to OPA and what they're doing with the Tanaska Center, because that's where the investment really is. To your point, that is kind of what is going on already in Omaha as far as the shedding and the preparation and the training and the education. There is that, and to a huge degree, actually, to the tune of $108 million as far as the investment in education. And at least that is the price tag behind the Tanaska Center. Again, as reported by KMTV3, shout out to the Omaha Performing Arts, who is behind this. And again, we kind of showed the images on the screen earlier, but let's really, get into what this is for and really who this is for, because this is something that I would suggest we take our young folk. So those of you who have young folk, or even you yourself interested in, again, the entertainment and arts industry, check this out, because, again, it is connected to some pretty big things. Talking about Broadway as far as some of the community connections with this. There will be a free open house on Sunday, March 22nd, for this Tanaska Community or Center for Arts and Entertainment, Arts Engagement. Again, that's noon to 4 on Sunday, March 22nd. This is a free open house where families, educators, and neighbors are encouraged to attend. And then on April 11th, there will also be a community day at this event. And again, this is something for everybody. Omaha Performing Arts Tanaska Center again is a venue where they will have actually an expansion of programs that they already have. We kind of talked about the hip hop lab that Omaha Performing Arts is already having. They've had actually we've been pushing the event that they have coming up. I think is that coming up already or has that passed with Justin Boa? The graffiti lab with Omaha Performing
I
Arts.
can't
Do
remember.
you?
I'd have to go look it up.
Okay, we'll have to look into that. But again, that's just one of the many things that they have going on. Um, just really quickly, Broadway and theater, dance and movement, family and preschool, also hip hop lab. So again, shout out to the likes of Mr. Soul, Brother Kethro, who are again teaching some of the young folk down there how to DJ, how to get down with some of the DJ and music production equipment. But there will also be camps, classes, and workshops for all ages, abilities, and experience levels in Broadway and theater. Again, dance and movement, expressive art, family and preschool, hip hop, and music. And there are actually camps and classes available for the spring and summer of this year. So, yeah, to your point, Paul, as far as shedding investment in education, yeah, I think there might be something there. Might be something there. So, shout
Yeah.
out to Peacock Corner on the Deuce getting down, pushing the line.
We definitely have to check into it. I would definitely think we need to dive in for sure. Vicky Young gives us a good morning. I didn't see you earlier. I appreciate you coming in. Good morning, Vicky Young. I believe NAACP has programs and things that support. And there's a lot of other organizations out here that support the arts. That's kind of what I'm getting at as well. Like when we talk about art support, we've now been on panels where we are talking about where should dollars go, where should funds go for art support. If we have a clear picture of where we're at and what this town needs, then we can have a more clear picture on where to direct those dollars. I really think directing dollars to stuff like the Tanaska, stuff like Culxr House, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
places for education. They also also shout out to like the hip hop lab that brings legendary hip hop artists to Omaha for people to see. You might not be able to be around the cast from Dead Prez, but they'll be here for the hip hop lab, so you can talk to them personally. You can hear from them about the industry and so on, which is also something that is indicative of a place that doesn't have that around. I used to live out in the valley and go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles and run into Lenny Kravitz. You know what I'm saying? Like these artists are just around in other places, but here they're not. So these kids and these people that are coming up and they're getting busy, they're in order for you to have an organization where you bring in these artists to them for them to still be able to be around that energy is huge as well. That's a part of you. That's a part of the shed situation as far as I'm concerned. So I love it. I really thinking a lot about it. I'm going to say Terrace Hayes saying Grand Rising Omaha family. I appreciate your cousin coming on in. He says we're also jumping in. I see RG saying Axo. I haven't heard that name for a hot minute. That's the artist you were talking about. He says not sure when they fell off, but they were on art scholarships and talent competitions that some of my peers used to get on back in the 90s and 2000s. So here's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. There were art scholarships, competitions, and stuff happening.
Yeah, that's the
Omaha,
AXO.
we always say again.
That's the AXO. So the
That's what it's called.
NAACP, yeah, was with the AXO. Apparently, Michael Watts also in the chat
Ah,
giving some background. Says AXO is a national competition and showcase for the NAACP. So apparently they stopped doing that at some point. Local NAACP groups had their version to decide who competed on national stage. Artists like Houston Alexander and others participated. So
yo.
again, this is early in Houston. Definitely got his chops as a b-boy artist and DJ. So yeah.
So there you go. To me, this is genius, and I agree. If a NAACP was rocking this back in the day, I ought to bring it back. This is where I think those dollars need to go in order to make enhance the artistry that's here, and also there needs to be a component of connection to other places that I'm happy that Marcey Yates is digging into it as well as far as that's concerned. But these connections to other places is what's going to make that go.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, RG says, if y'all know the name Lonnie Easter, him and that saxophone won AXO around 96, 97, giving us the
Okay.
history. Yeah, appreciate that. Also, Marlon Harrison said noise complaints have been a big problem in recent years. Too many people have been complaining crowds and music blasting to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's unfortunate. There's no place we can we can rock out to 3 or 4 in the morning like you can in other cities. I'll be honest. Uh,
Man.
when I first got in town, I paid my dues playing for years over at Jesse's place for a long time on Sunday nights. When Native Omaha days would happen and stuff like that, they go out to the back patio. It was inevitable they were going to get noise complaints playing back there, and it's unfortunate. But it is, our neighborhoods now, especially North Omaha, have always been residential all around the deuce, all around the block. And so that's been a little bit of an issue when it comes to especially outside venues and stuff like that. So, but I also feel like we circumvent that. We have the Joy Fest. We have a Juneteenth parade. We got all kinds of
Hmm.
stuff going on. Native Omaha days, all kind of stuff going on the blocks that are you're surrounded by them same residential spots to be able to still get down. So it's something to consider. Anything else standing out to you in the chat, real quick? I know this is turning into the Tony Johnson and Michael Watts show here a little bit.
I do want to acknowledge Pops a little bit, kind of giving a little insight on his success. Again, your Pops, successful songwriter. He says, "You are so right. I found songwriting success because I had a top entertainment attorney representing me, getting my music on commercials internationally, etc. You have to have pro infrastructure, which is definitely something that we're missing." Again, somebody else in the comments also, talked about producers, promoters, things like that, which are also all present here in Atlanta. You know what I mean? You definitely have your movers and shakers behind the scenes that are help pushing the line, not just a bunch of artists and DJs and producers. It's an industry. It takes a lot.
Most def. Appreciate everybody's comments. Definitely went in deep on this one. We'll
Yeah,
continue to do that
yeah.
because that's kind of our thing as well. And definitely came to town. Connected on that level. When we started this, we started at Mind and Soul Radio, putting that radio station together with the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation because that was kind of our base. And
Hmm.
right away we were playing local acts and really kind of being a voice for that. And shout out to people like Reggie C, who always played local acts. Shout out to Houston Alexander, who was on the major stations, and him and Shorty playing local acts, really trying to big up the scene here as well. So I appreciate the work that has been done, and I feel like with all these discussions that we have about what it is that can happen with the arts on this Love Supreme Friday, we get closer to an answer. I feel like we get closer to an answer when we're thinking being honest about like what this town is here for, what we're doing. We were just talking about a bill where the governor was trying to take away funds from Nebraska Endowment for the Arts,
Yep.
take away the match funds for that, and how there was the artists, the artist camps were fighting that, pushing that. Shout out to Union for Contemporary Art that has a whole that has residents that do music and has a whole studio upstairs for people to continue that scene. Shout out to, like you said, Noma, who's teaching kids drums and all kinds of other programs and stuff like that there. Every time I go to the jam on Monday night, can't believe these 14 and 15-year-old kids that are in there rocking out. The
Getting
talent
down.
here is incredible in a huge way. So how do we plug that in is the question. 8:47 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, let's smell the coffee beans here for a quick second. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and finish out the show, wrapping up some of the other stories that we were wanted to definitely highlight.
Yeah, man.
And wrap up this Love Supreme Friday. We appreciate you guys hanging with us. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B, Buddy the God. We'll be right back, y'all. We'll put a new beat on real quick. Yeah, there we go. I like that. That's nice. We'll be right back. That's nice. That's nice. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Welcome back, First Sky,
Hey.
Paul B, Buddy the God. Thanks for you guys hanging with us this whole show. We didn't get to talk about quite yet. It's
What's
interesting
that?
that we went off into this tangents when we had this happen yesterday.
Gah, 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 gah.
If those of you that went to the Big Mama's Hungry Club yesterday, boy, I know you got a show for you. If you don't know who this is, that's Don Klein sitting there with Michaela
Klein.
Tanner, bro.
Hey.
I chose this image. Look at this. Look at this look on Michaela Tanner's face.
Like,
This is right after Don Klein snatched the mic out of her hand, so he can tell everybody that if the leadership changes, and then I can guarantee you a whole lot of them people in them offices ain't going to be there.
Okay. Okay. Next person up.
Shout out to Big Mama's Hungry Club. I gotta find the link that you guys can go check it out. You guys You guys got to go see it.
Look like the lips was getting tight.
There were some people that were bringing up some real stuff. Skurlock. There were some people that were in the audience that was like, okay, I don't feel like he took the criticism very well at all. And yeah, it was something. I'm not gonna speak too much on it. It's something to see. You got to go check it out. You have to check it out. The Hungry Club, Big Mama's Kitchen. This was huge. This was a huge thing that she did here with this live stream. I'm gonna get it to you right now because you really need to go check it out for yourself. If there isn't any indication that here's the link right here. If there's not any indication that we need a change in leadership when it comes to that office, you're gonna see it all for yourself right there. There's a lot that needs to happen. I hear a lot of people asking, well, what's going to be different if Michaela Danner everything's going to be different. I don't want to hear that mess. No, don't start nitpicking nothing. Everything will be different if Michaela Danner is in that seat other than Don Klein. So, yeah, I don't know what you looking for exactly. What you looking for?
I told y'all.
It's the difference between people who has no connection to the community at all. They were calling him out for not being a part of the community, and he started talking about back in the day when he used to play basketball with the brothers when he was young. And so he basically was like, I got black friends.
Yep. Come on.
Tell him First Guy sent you.
RG said, hey, look, if Klein can't stand the heat, I don't believe anyone invited him into the kitchen but himself.
Man. Klein told a whole there was some question asking what does the job do. He laid out a whole bunch of stuff in it, and it was good to hear that. It was good to hear about like what that job actually is and what they're responsible for. Forget that the county attorney's office is the coroner. So they calling they telling you how somebody died at the same time they adjudicate. I mean, Michaela Danner was like, the first thing I would do is separate the coroner duty.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
Yeah. Definitely watch it. Anybody who was there, let us know if you have any comments. Put it in Friends of First Guy Omaha or put it in the chat. We'd love to hear your take on this meeting. And again, shout out to Big Mama and the Hungry Club. Shout out to them venturing into this live stream world. Bear with the sound issues and stuff like that because it's definitely worth a watch for real.
McCarthy says, shout out to Sean McCarthy, man. Good morning to you, brother. He says Klein's basketball comment was about as cringeworthy as Hillary Clinton saying she always kept house sauce in her purse. Y'all remember that on the Breakfast Club?
It was that bad.
Which is funny because Hillary said that on the Breakfast Club and he said that on the Hunger Club. I mean, just make it make sense.
It's as bad as Gavin Newsom talking about, I'm like y'all, my IQ is at 80 or whatever.
Oh, man.
Cringeworthy. When you talk about cringeworthy, bro, that's what it was. That he was really searching. He went all the way back to 1950 something when he was playing ball with the Afro brothers, whoever he was talking about. Somebody was like, "Don't be trying to act like you part of this." Yeah, it was a hot mess.
Right. Was they on your team or were you playing against them? Let me know.
Overall, I think when if I was in Don Klein's position, and I came to a situation like that, I would have said,
RG.
Not a racist, I got a color TV. If I was in his position, even if I felt like I was right, they were saying, would you do something different now with these situations like that happen with Scarlett? No, I did everything right. Okay, cool. But for you to get it all in your feelings, and I don't know, I can't let people talk about stuff that's not true, and all the mess that even just the reaction to that is a to me a lack of the ability to have some empathy for a community that lost people. You have a lack of empathy for a community that lost people. For you to be there with your chest out, snatching the mic from Michaela Danner to set people straight on some stuff. You might have made some mistakes. You might need to go back and check out your decisions. Number one, but number two, even if you think that what you did was right, find a different way to present it to people who are in pain for losing people. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you is you have no respect for black people. You got no respect for people in our communities. And if you had some respect, you would talk differently and act differently with us. Point blank, period.
And that has been a Beezy Blast.
There you go. Your first Beezy Blast. Myself in the big window. Your first Beezy Blast.
You need some glasses? You need some?
I just bought them. Blast from the throw.
Hey, I have no comment. No comment. Y'all let us know. A couple of y'all was there.
Yeah. Marlon Harrison in chat says Donnie Klein is super out of touch with society and the culture of North and South Omaha. I mean, why would he even think he needed to be in touch with us? It's all paternalism, ridiculousness. And
there you go.
I understand he got a hard job. That's a hard job. They take care of all the felonies. This is something I learned during this Hungry Club. They take care of all felonies. So that's all deaths. That's all everything. But there was a lot of points that Michaela Danner was bringing out about the processes of what happened, the grand jury situation, everything that went down. And for you to not even be like, I did the best, I'm be humbly like, I'm a human being. I could have made mistakes. I did the best I could. If you, and even when he was saying, read the case, follow the facts, you'll understand something differently. Still, it's also your approach, bro. It's also your approach. And I think that you might even have some different decisions if you were able to have a little bit of respect for the community that you're engaged in with all of this. 50 other lawyers in that office. A lot of people doing the work. So there's got to be maybe what she's saying is right. It's got to be a change of leadership here. Could be. We'll see.
Man, and if, to Klein's point, if some people are willing to step down because of leadership, then hey, because you don't want a black woman leading. Good riddance.
That picture of Miss Danner giving Klein that this fool didn't look might be the lasting legacy for re-election. Look, bro, I worked long and hard to capture this photo. I worked long and hard to capture this photo because of the look, because I wanted to capture exactly how she looked for a microsecond after he snatched that mic out of. I worked for like 15 minutes trying to make sure She looked back at the crowd like, did he just snatch the mic? It was, and then look at the vitriol on his face. He's
look at his lips.
Yeah, he's just mad. He mad. He big mad.
Getting tight.
He's tight. I guarantee you, if the leadership changes, not if I lose the election, if the leadership changes, hot mess, bro. Appreciate that. Ariel's Fortis says, please, just give me one more verse of Beezy Blast. RG says that picture, it was crazy talk. Tony Johnson talking about, I was hoping that Danner put something on her campaign. Just go talk to Danner, bro. I don't got no time. Anthony Rogers right, gonna come out and vote. 65% of registered black voters did not come out to vote in the Texas primary. Let's definitely talk about that. It's always the thing about us coming out to vote in our elections here. Numbers be low. Numbers be very low. We got to get the numbers up. So, again, this is what we're doing. And also with the 6 to dismiss idea here, we're definitely going to be trying to bring some more information about these candidates as well. But look, some of this stuff is just like, you don't talk all the mess that you talk about what all the things that Don Klein has been doing wrong for as many years as he's been doing this, and people like Joaquin Fox going out and
man, protesting his crib,
protesting at his house, and everything else that's been going on, and then they be like, well, yeah, but what's Danner gonna do? Everything different, bro. That's what Danner gonna do.
Man, and again, as you mentioned, you said it, the six to dismiss is not just Danner Klein's race. Excuse me. And several races that we're looking at. So we just posted a link. Shout out to Omaha World Hero for posting. These are apparently everybody who has applied to run thus far for all the races, which is there's a lot of races. You know, some that we have been paying attention to as far as the governor, you know, of course, sheriff, Don Klein's race, but also, you know, things like a MUD board. Shout out to again, um, Senator Carol Blood, who spoke to us. She's running for, I believe, OPPD board. So yeah, definitely check out that link to get a full list of everybody who has applied for races to this point. And you know, you got several parties being represented. Yeah, there's even Legal Marijuana Now Party, Green Party candidates, Libertarian Party candidates. Yeah. So again, a lot of candidates we haven't talked about, haven't looked at. Primaries are coming up. Midterms are upon us nationally, and this is something we also got to talk about kind of as we wrap up this show. You know, there's been reports on these lawsuits that's going out towards Trump
Hmm.
in regards to the tariffs that he's looking to push, and you know the real economic uh, fallout, you know, and blowback from some of these tariffs and some of these bills and some of these policies coming from the Trump administration that are you know being Nebraska's federal delegation has supported or even voted for in some instances. Shout out to Flatwater Free Press. We don't really have too much time to get into it, but they have a report talking about the fallout and the impact on the child care situation. And again, we've been talking about, you know, speaking of industries, again, child care industry is actually an industry my family has had some experience in opening the Magic Door child care facility back in the day.
Mm.
And yeah, actually, my great grandmother being one of the first black owned childcare facilities in the state, and now to see where you know where it has come as far as just the crisis that they're calling it. Again, shout out to Flatwater Free Press reporting on this childcare crisis that's you know precipitated and backdropped by this one big beautiful bill and the billions of dollars that's being gutted from Medicaid and what that means for people's ability again to take care of not only their health, but you know, child care subsidies and things like that. It's all being impacted, and it's all falling out from these policy changes and these decisions that are being made by elected officials. So again, I say all that to say six to dismiss is not just about the six people on the list, but it's about getting civically active and flexing one of the many lanes of change that we have, which is your political power, which is your voice as a voter. As we've learned, hey, you can say what you want about it, but you know we wouldn't be seeing all of the actual things as far as gerrymandering, as far as you know the Save Act, and so all of the moves that they're making to water down our vote isn't because the vote doesn't matter. So there you go. There you go.
Appreciate you. Tony Johnson said, "Trust me, I sent the same feedback to her on social media and email. That's what's up. Definitely do that. I do think that it's a place to be able to find out where she's running on because a lot of people who would be on the fence need to hear it. But as far as we're concerned, it's kind of a no brainer on that one. I appreciate that. Also, Michelle Moreno, Michelle Moreno cracking me up. He said that he used to go to Carter Lake back in the day with his friends and named a whole bunch of people and then said what goes on at Carter Lake now on a Sunday. Yeah, that was him when he was trying to find proof that he's been in the black community. For him to be the stuff that he said was crazy. Go check it out. Anthony Rogers Wright is coming in saying the jobs report just dropped 100,000 jobs lost.
Mm.
It's unemployment rate ticked up 0.1%. Huge number of jobs lost. We talk about Brother Sean McCarthy all the time, who's probably on 150 as far as the job search is concerned. Who spends pretty much his 5 day a week, 8 hour day job looking for jobs, and we've also reported on thousands of jobs that have gotten lost all over the place. The people getting laid off everywhere. And it started with black women getting laid off, getting fired first, positions eliminated, all the stuff that's happening. We are in a crisis when it comes to this, and this is a report that is probably not even reflecting everything that's actually really happening. But that this report is saying jobs, 100,000 jobs lost. Definitely got to get back into talking about it. I appreciate you guys coming in this morning. We're also past the time we were going to end this show as well. So we appreciate you letting us go past the agreement. Again, don't forget about what's coming up. Shout out to RG for letting us remember about this health fair that's happening March 28th.
Hey.
Put this on your calendar to get free screenings. It's definitely huge. We'll repost this back on Friends of First Sky Omaha on the group page on Facebook as well. Don't forget tomorrow, State of Black Business is happening. Go ahead and register for this. Go to reviveomaha.com. Register, go have some breakfast, and listen to some of the presentations from these businesses that are all surrounding us. We talk about what industry in. There's businesses in all the industries that are helping all Black businesses around, and this is a really great thing to go to. I highly suggest you do that. Also, shout out to RG for giving us the North Omaha Book Club post-traumatic slave syndrome schedule. I love that. Here's the dates on that. We'll put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well. This is hosted by the Essential Gathering Place. If you want info on this, go to 402-612-3143 and jot those dates down. Maybe grab this screenshot of this when you get a chance, and make sure that you show up to those things as well. Also, I want to give a shout out to our partners over at the Bay. This is their schedule. They got a lot of stuff happening. Their winter skate school is already closed. They sold out, but they also have youth open skate and gaming from Thursdays to Saturdays at 3 to 8. Shout out to them. They're over in the Benson area now. This is Lincoln and Benson here as well. So that's what's up. Recycled Skateboard Workshop is happening in conjunction with BFF. That's already passed, didn't it? No, today, March 6th.
Yes, today.
5:30 to 8. Yep. So there you go. They're even telling you what school's out and what's going to be happening on the days that schools are out. If you got a place to put your kids because you got to go to work when school's out, they even have that extended youth open skate going on, gaming hours. Nice. So shout out to the Bay for all the work that they're doing as well over there. Shout out to BFF and the team in Benson that's really making things happen too. Like Amy Ryan says, Benson is North Omaha. Don't you forget it. Appreciate it. And if by all means, if you any kind of aware of what's happening, then you got to get yourself down to OTO tonight. OTO Hi-Fi Lounge. Shout out to Marcey Yates for coming by, and shout out to his new release, Vanilla Sky 2. Definitely check it out. Get your vinyl, and then come down and do a listening party and hang out a little bit from 6 to 8 at OTO. It's right there in Arbin Village, pretty much right across the street from the movie theater. So it's right there on that strip. Go down, check it out. It'd be packed, so get ready. Get ready to deal with that, but it'd be packed. But definitely go down and check this out tonight. Shout out to Kethro and the gang over there at OTO for making that happen. With that, I guess we're going to get out of here, buddy. You got some words for the people?
Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in, joining the conversation, letting your mind be free. More importantly, letting your voice be heard. Big shout out to Brother Marcey Yates. Again, definitely check that out tonight. Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself. You know, if you like sound, you like using your ears, pull up. Check it out. Get some vibrations, man. Yeah, man. And with that, have a good weekend. Hopefully we catch you same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning, Paul.
In the morning.
Hey, there you go. If I'm not mistaken, we got a Senator Cypher coming up on Monday.
We do. Thanks for reminding me about that. Senator Cypher will be checking back in with Senator Terrell McKinney and Senator Ashley Spivey. Put some respect on their names. Senator Cypher coming Monday.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, look out for that. In the meantime, between time, take care of yourselves. Paul B, take it away. Yes.
Man, get that umbrella out. It's going to be rainy today, but it's going to be warm. So check on your loved ones. Check on everybody who has lost power. Make sure everything's cool there. Anybody going? I think everything going to be all right because of the weather. Losing power in freezing weather is different than losing power during 70-degree weather. But still, check on your people. Check on your people. Pop says phenomenal week of shows. Thank you guys so much for all the effort you put in on the everlasting dedication and devotion you show for us all. Thanks, Pop. Thanks. Have a great weekend. Have a great weekend as well. Shout out. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let me find out y'all don't know my hood track record. Come on.
Hey, IB's on the block. IB's on the block. Whenever you get through.
Somebody chime up the AI and make a video singing that song. IB's on the block. with an afro or something. Michelle Moreno, he was very defensive at the meeting. Yeah, anytime you said something, he even said I called him a name. I said I didn't call you nothing. Oh, man. Watch the video, bro. Shout out to Big Mamas. Watch the video for real, bro. We're gonna get out of here. Shout out to the Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to be to speak before you. And shout out to you guys, the Chad Chimers, our our peers, man, our family. We appreciate you guys for
Man,
letting us have a
squad.
discussion. The squad, for real. Lots of great comments. Thanks for the respect to the guest as per usual. Shout out to Marcey Yates for spending some time with us today, beyond the time he was supposed to spend too. I know he had things to do, but he stayed a little later for us. We appreciate him, and can't wait to have him back and talk some more about that stuff. We'll definitely see him tonight at OTO. And yeah, you guys take care of yourselves over the weekend. It's supposed to be pretty decent, rainy but decent weather. And again, Senator Cypher coming on Monday. We got lots more to talk about when it comes to what's going on in the legislative session for real. For real. What's really going on. With that, we'll get out of here. I bees on the block. Come on, make it happen. Make it happen.
Let me see Klein on the hoop.
Don go try to Klein going down.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s. I kept visioning that him in like shorts with an afro with the bros back in the day playing ball in North Omaha. Like, this is
man,
connection.
Globe try to whistle in the back.
Oh man! Shout out to Michaela Dana for dealing with it. Shout out for her stepping up, putting money where her mouth is, and making the run for it. Shout out to Big Mamas for stepping into the live stream foray, making us see what we see and do it, and be able to have a chance to see it. It's on record for all time. It's on record for all time, and they ain't done. We're not done either, but we'll pick it back up on Monday. We'll see you. Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red